Here we go. Zach Cole, the freshman for St. Joseph's, up against Joe Lenskold, number 24 for Delaware. So this should be for the sophomore against the freshman. All right, and we started off here. Nice little battle just to begin this one in the face-off X, which is a place that both coaches said they felt like they had a little bit of an advantage. And it's Delaware who gets it out. That's number 34, Ryan Shaw, pick up the ground ball to start this one. Possession so important to begin this game for Delaware, and we already know the shot clock is in play here. About 70 seconds. They got to get it over by the 60-second mark, and they do. As you can see there, the weather should be a little bit of a factor today. St. Joe's, Taylor Ray, their head coach, told us yesterday they were playing in those windy conditions, knew it would be windy today, and something that they said they're prepared for. And, you know, it's cold. It should affect the helmets as well, listening to each other and communicating too, right, Malcolm?
Yeah, that's such a key component of both of these teams. We spoke to the coaches earlier this week, and you know, that was a big focus. So I don't know whether they had the
There's Ty Kurtz right there, who just early on, the freshman from Ontario, scoring to make it 1-0 Delaware early in this one. Already seeing that Delaware offense on display. Ty Kurtz scoring his 3rd goal of the season for the Mini. Just sort of got his hands free, was open, and shot it.
Well, great look through the defense there, right on the goal line.
Yeah, Kurt's a freshman who has 0 field experience going into this season as a freshman. Really intriguing story. Ben DeLuca said he acts a lot older than his age, and they picked him up, obviously found him in the Ontario Lacrosse Association, the Junior A. He won a Canadian championship in 2015 with Team Ontario. So Kurt's a guy that his high school didn't have a lacrosse team, so much indoor experience, and then really translating well to the outdoor game.
Yeah, and I love the release point on that shot, too. Low to low with that defender coming out right in his face, almost using that defender and shooting a low screen shot.
The face-off X, a place where Taylor Ray said he thought his team had the advantage, but so far, Delaware scrapping pretty well in there with Joe Lenskold, not Jake Herveda, the captain, who did not take any face-offs. He's been the face-off guy for the most part this season, but Joe Lenskold getting the first 2 here for Delaware as they win the first 2 face-offs, as we've been able to see this Delaware offense on display. And as we look at the fact that Delaware actually now just lost the ball. Here we go. St. Joe's picks it up now on the other end. We get them finally into the screen here. Yep, there we go. As St. Joe's takes possession themselves, we see that young team in play, the smallest 4-year senior class in the nation. Taylor Ray saying they've had to rely on group leadership, Malcolm.
Yeah, and he didn't seem as concerned as we were in that conversation about the youth of the team. I think that he's had some young players really stepping up here early, and you know, building a nice culture of leadership with those players. That's a great opportunity for young guys to get some early reps when you don't have that upperclassman leadership. You just simply don't have them on the roster. There's no choice but to step up.
You see this young offense taking the field here. Tate Domick down behind X here. St. Joe's really has an interesting motive going into this game, saying they really want to take their time, be patient, a little more patient they were last week against Providence, something that they said they need to do better. Gets it to the middle, turns around, fires, looks like it got deflected. St. Joe's does retain possession. I don't know if it kind of looked like a shot. Looked like he tried to get it off. Matt Tufano there just a little bit high, I guess. A little bit high is an interesting way to put it. St. Joe's does get it back, though, works it around the top. Over to the side there, Austin Trezula looking into the alley. Looking at it, shoots. Nice save there by DeLuca down low. You can see already that's why he's been so good this year. Now Delaware getting it out in transition.
I think that's a great example of a shot that the Delaware defense is willing to concede, where the player's moving downhill and DeLuca gets a really clean look at it with that big body. There's a great chance he's going to make those saves. So St. Joe's has to work a little bit better for higher quality shots.
Here we go. We see Delaware once again working here from X. You see Kitchen behind the cage with the ball right now. Kitchen, obviously, we've known him for those unique celebrations, such a creative mind, and getting a little bit of a pick there, working it around X, and you see him get it up top. A little bit wide there from the right side. Delaware does retain possession, and Kitchen will get to work once again.
Early on here, we're seeing Delaware feeding from behind goal line extended and getting some pretty decent looks on cage. St. Joe's going to need to step out. You see they're pretty packed in right now in front of the cage. You're going to need to step up a little bit and get to the Blue Hen shooter's hands.
Delaware being pretty patient. They've had a lot of the possessions so far in this one, and St. Joe's took a fairly quick shot on the other end. Kitchen looking to size him up and doesn't get anything going thus far, but Delaware doing a good job of working it around, making that St. Joe's defense move at this point. See Clay Miller making a couple dodges up there, getting a lot of attention. Delaware still working it around. Kitchen now with a short stick on him. That could be dangerous. Feeding underneath the goal line extended. A little bit of trouble picking it up. Ball's out in play. Who's going to get the ground ball? It is St. Joe's. Nice job defensively there to sort of pack it in on Kitchen.
Yeah, St. Joe's has shown an early zone look there that paid off for him to be able to create that turnover. This possession's crucial for them to start to establish a little bit of flow on the offensive end.
Yeah, St. Joe's likes to play in transition. We know that, but you can really tell that they've sort of played things a little bit slower this game so far. You can tell that's been a point of emphasis. They're waiting to get their subs in the game, and I know they like a lot of two-way guys, but so far you got 44. The long stick there. The pass is not handled well, but we do have a foul that retains possession for St. Joe's.
It was Josh Boschner playing a little cat and mouse out of the substitution box, which you know I love. I love to send the long poles over the 50 to go play some offense.
They're not afraid to do that, St. Joe's. Taylor Ray saying his close D handles the ball well, which is good for their transition game.
Still plenty of time left here, Tom, on the clock for these guys to operate.
Nice little dodge there. Finds Patterson in front, and he scores. Great look there to Patterson in front, and St. Joe's has tied it all up 1-1. Nice little response there from St. Joe's after getting down early to Delaware. Delaware had the ball a lot. St. Joe's now coming back. You saw them calm down a little bit, gather themselves, and now score the goal with Patterson, his 9th goal of the season for the sophomore. He's really been playing well.
Well, that's a great rollback look to Patterson there. You know, just looking like we're driving to X there, again, getting our offense set up from X, and then just a quick rollback in Patterson, a nice little cut down the middle.
Yeah, Evan Campbell with a nice feed to Patterson from X there, just finding him in front and getting it going, which was pretty well done. St. Joe's looking to get another face-off. Zach Cole, they like him there a lot. Taylor Ray said he thought he could do well in this game. The freshman out of Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Nice little battle there, won by Joe Lenskold once again, who's really come on for Delaware the last couple of games in the X. So it's been an interesting change of events there for Delaware in the face-off. They ran a lot of guys out there against Providence. Excuse me, in their last game against Monmouth. And once again, Delaware has it at X and just starting to go to work. Charlie Kitchen.
And Tom, you know, that's the first face-off that Delaware, they've been successful with the X, but St. Joe's has pushed them back to their defensive end and forced them to clear the ball. It's the first time they've been able to move the ball forward.
See a pick right here up on top, and nice launch and fire and score. That's Joe Isley, the senior from Egg Harbor, New Jersey. Nicely done by Isley to get some space, get his hands free, and score. Another leader on this attack unit for Delaware. Number 22, his 6th goal of the year. Really good shooting percentage so far this year. He's shooting 77%, which means he's been efficient.
Well, if you love power lacrosse, you're going to love this play. Isley just gluing his bottom right hand to his hip and driving through the St. Joe's defense there and getting a clean look all the way across that sweeping dodge. Great shot placement going back against the goaltender's body as he's coming across his line and shifting across his crease. It's a very difficult save to make. You almost have to make a kick save to be able to get a piece of that shot.
Delaware going up 2-1 early there. You see a little bit of their different dynamics of their offense so far in this one. Another win going forward for Lenskold, who's done a nice job there in the X, but a little bit of a scramble out front. The St. Joe's defense working hard to get it, and it is picked up by Zach Cole, who then gets rid of it again. Look at this scramble for the ground ball right in the middle of the field, right on the blue hen. And it looks like it is finally picked up there by Ryan Doran, the freshman, who's got all sorts of blue hens all over him right now. Picked up there by 47. But unfortunately for Zach Strassner, it's a penalty, and he will have to be out of the game for about 30 seconds.
A lot of wood chopping going on there, Tom.
You got to like that, Malcolm, right?
I love it. And the Delaware defenseman, said, why do those guys have all the fun? They came up and started to create that chaos as well.
Yeah, see this one more time, and it looked like a slash there that's going to send Strasner to the box for a few minutes here. So we'll see how St. Joe's does on their first man-up opportunity of the afternoon. Nice sound of construction in the background. Nice ambiance out there today at Delaware. In addition to the wind and everything else, it's got to be interesting for the players trying to communicate. Nice ball movement. Just couldn't handle the pass there. It looked like he had an opportunity. Patterson there, close to the net.
Great job by McCormick to get a piece of that shot, help create the turnover. A piece of that pass, rather.
Now Delaware, short-handed, gonna have a good chance to get rid of this penalty. About 5 more seconds until it is even strength once again. All right, so Delaware kills off the man-up opportunity for St. Joe. St. Joe's only getting the one opportunity out of it. Delaware doing a good job on defense, and something they've done all year long. Now Delaware has a chance to get in their own set. That St. Joe's defense sliding the kitchen, really giving some other opportunities. You can tell that he's been a really point of emphasis for them and some of their film watching the last couple of days here. Kitchen with the feed in front, and it is a little bit wide. The pass couldn't be handled. It was a little bit tough to handle there, right there at goal line extended.
Yeah, I think if that pass had connected, that's a decent look for Delaware. But again, you're seeing that zone defense out of the Hawks and creating another turnover.
See another example of transition for St. Joe's, and it is number 18. Goal for St. Joseph's, Matt Popek, the freshman, scoring early for St. Joe's, making it 2-2. The long stick goal, Malcolm. How about that?
You gotta love it. You're a fan of the long poles.
The freshman out of Olney, Maryland, in transition, and the close D on this team handles the ball well, which is one of their staples in transition. And this, I mean, it doesn't, as a long pole, doesn't get any better than that, right?
Yeah, well, and Coach Ray was speaking really highly of Popek earlier this week in our conversation with him, and his ability to handle the ball and create opportunities like that. That's a prime example.
Popek, a player who after high school he played for the Israel national team in the World Championships this summer, and he spent a year after high school in Israel, and he coached youth programs out there. He's got a very interesting story, very interesting kid who now is a freshman at St. Joe's after spending a year in Israel. He did not play against Coach Ray's Canadian team, but obviously they saw each other out there. We have a violation in the X going Delaware's way now as they do get the ball back and looking to try to get something going as the subs come in. Oh, getting mugged up top is Bryce Reed, who finally gets it out. And Delaware might have a little bit of opportunity here for Kitchen behind X. Delaware settles down.
So far, the St. Joe's defense is doing a good job at recognizing those opportunities to go up and double team the ball. That's a great example there, but then also when to kind of pack it in and get back in their zone. So there's got to be some good communication going on in those different situations to quickly make those adjustments.
Seems like they've been very aggressive in the middle of the field in terms of that as well. Kitchen from behind, working it around. There's Kurtz once again looking for his second goal. Members of that second attack unit. There's Kurtz once again. Almost the same exact shot as earlier. It's Kurtz, his second goal of the game for the freshman. He just doubled his total for the season in the first 10 minutes of the game here. This one looked almost the same as the other one.
Yeah, very, very similar release point on that shot, low to low. Off stick here. Good skip through that zone to be able to find Kurtz. It was just very good off ball at kind of being in the right place at the right time.
Tom Tarleton a little late on that slide really gave Kurtz the ability to be open there to get that shot, even though it was similar to the last one, going low to low once again. And interesting to see him work in the field. I've been excited to see him a little bit more today in the field game.
Getting the ball out of your stick quickly and into the goal is generally not an issue for most Canadian players.
That's a great point. Once again, another ground ball at the face-off X. It's been a little bit of scrum there so far in this one. Not too many clean wins. It looks like St. Joe's with an infraction on that. No, actually, it's Delaware with the infraction, so St. Joe's takes over. 3-2 now. Delaware up 1. St. Joe's with the ball. About 5 minutes to go here in the first. Some trouble there at X for Nate Patterson as Delaware sort of suffocates in around him on defense. And Delaware ball takes over. Delaware was perfect on the clear game in their win over Monmouth. Just an interesting fact there. You know, you never really know sometimes the clears, and
that's rare.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
There's Kitchen working from behind X again. You can see the attention he gets from that St. Joe's defense. Delaware now working in some of their subs. Gets a pick there from Kurtz. Kitchen to the front. Nice save by Adler. And there it is. Kitchen called for the increased dive infraction, so St. Joe's takes over. They get it once again in transition, and they are running.
One of the inherent risks of the dive, right, is leaving your feet and ending up in the crease, and if it doesn't go in, it's an automatic turnover.
Adler's still making, he was in the crease there. Adler still made the save on that play, which is pretty impressive, knowing everything else that happened. And St. Joe sort of settles down a little bit, something that Taylor Ray wanted to see. Obviously, still a lot of questions about the dive early in this season as it's being back this year. Chase, we talked about that. Malcolm, excuse me, we talked about that with the coaches too. St. Joe's looking to get some offense going here early. Ryan Doran trying to get a dodge. Doesn't work with the long pull on him. Here's Fable. Rather, that's Strazula to the middle. Another nice save there. St. Joe's was wanting to get close to the cage in this game to get some better quality shots.
Yeah, and I think that's you know, a fair shot. It's on their island. However, when DeLuca gets a clean look at most shots, he's got a good chance to save them. So they've got to be able to move DeLuca across the cage rather than looking at the ball straight up.
About 48 seconds on the shot clock. Haven't had to worry about that too much this afternoon so far. Obviously, the new shot clock coming into play this year. Clay Miller getting it out front. Offense working it around. Dean DeSimone up top. He leads Delaware in goals thus far. Nice save by Adler in front. Makes another one. That's 2 in a row for Adler. Nice job there as he first had the long shot and then the one at close range. Adler showing why the sophomore's been so successful.
Yeah, great job by Adler just to match sticks right on the doorstep.
About 2 minutes to go now in the quarter. Delaware up 3-2 over St. Joe's. See Ryan Doran there on the right side looking back to get to X. Goal line extended now. He's got a pull on him, but looks like he's going to try to do some work. Now works it out. Seeing a little bit of good stuff from both goalies on each side, kind of what we were looking forward to in this one.
Great goaltending, very different looking defenses. St. Joe's packed in that zone. Delaware stepping out, pressuring hands, even up and outside of the box.
See St. Joe's working it out pretty deep so far. But they gets to the front and a little bit of a deflection. He's in the crease once again. Another crease violation. Seen a few of those now coming as St. Joe's trying to get to the cage, but not being able to do it too successfully against that defense right now. That was Strazula once again with the effort.
Even heard a dive call from the sideline, and I don't know which sideline that came from, whether they were preparing the defense or whether, I don't think Coach Ray was necessarily encouraging his players to dive.
Delaware the ball, minute to go now in the first quarter, 3-2, Delaware. So far been fairly evenly matched. Delaware's had more of the possession so far in this one. See Clay Miller working from the left side, the righty. Looks like it, I mean, the shot clock and game clock are about the same, so we'll see if Delaware waits to get to the last shot here. I don't know if there's a 1 second differential if my math is correct. Miller, though, takes a shot. That was pretty easy for Adler there, right in front. You could see it pretty well the whole time. Now, St. Joe's has about 20 seconds to try to see if they can get one more shot at it.
Sure, and that's the type of shot that you're hoping to concede out of a zone where the offensive player is stepping up the field, and not much of a screen there.
Offsides on St. Joe, so Delaware gets it with 8 seconds to go. They're working it around, and can they score? They do with 4 seconds to play. That's Joe Isley. Delaware taking a 4-2 lead. The quick change of possession there on the offsides call, and Isley and Delaware took advantage. His 7th goal of the season, his 2nd today. Delaware up 4-2 now. Big goal, big momentum shift heading into the end of the first there.
For sure, and we haven't seen a ton of transition here today, but Delaware doing a great job riding, and Isley, nice finish there.
Pretty nice pass.
Pump near side.
We've seen Ty Kurtz evolved a lot so far. He already has 2 goals and an assist, 3 points for Kurtz on the afternoon. A nice dish there to a streaking Isley in front. 4 seconds. We'll see if anything comes of this, but other than the face-off and a little stat added there for Zach Cole, who won his first clean face-off of the quarter. So good thing for him getting into this, going into the second for him,
sure,
for the freshman.
You never know. Put the ball in the cage. You never know what could happen.
A couple guys growing up in Florida, and you see Max and Mike, and Max has actually been to a game. We went to the Fairfield game earlier this year. St. Joe's winning the first faceoff of the second quarter, getting right into things here as St. Joe's is trying to tempt the tide back now in faceoffs. Right now, Delaware with the advantage of winning 5 of 7 so far in this game. Malcolm Chase along, Tom Eschen and Malcolm Chase here with you guys from Delaware, Raymond Field, where they're, as you can see, getting some construction done on this Tuesday afternoon. It's still a work day for all of us, and hopefully if you're at work, you're tuning in and not missing too much of your work today. Appreciate you guys joining us. And St. Joe's looking to cut into this lead for Delaware. That's Nick Vernacchio looking to make some things happen. Nice job stopping that by the long stick there, Kevin McCormick. Rather, Zach Strassner, the long stick in that situation. We have nice pickup there from X. Ryan Doran in front. Delaware, that suffocating defense. Matt Tufano just couldn't get it going and losing it there. Goal line extended. Here comes Delaware on the other end in transition. Moving it around pretty well. St. Joe's got back fairly well there. Nice job. Oh, geez, that was a pretty close one.
That is the plight of the defensive midfielder, where you could be wide open and your attack. One of your starting attackmen might look you off.
Steven Tortora's like, come on, this was me in front. I had this.
I say give the kid a chance.
Well, he's got to give the senior a goal, right? Delaware settles down. About 40 seconds to go on the shot clock now. Delaware working it around from X. He's looking to find a soft spot. Shot there from Joe Isley with a short stick on him. Little wide. Tough shot. That would have been interesting to go in. We got 22 seconds to go now on the shot clock. Delaware is going to have to get something off here in a little bit. Dean Simone on top. There's Isley once again in the alley. Working it around. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Delaware has to make something happen. 5 seconds on the shot clock. It's Kitchen from X. We'll have to shoot it soon. Good defense here by St. Joe's. Shot clock goes off. No shot there. So, all right, St. Joe's takes over. Good possession there for St. Joe's. A good stop, especially after they got back in transition and then were able to stop the set. What they do well there, Malcolm.
They're doing a nice job of communicating, and you're watching them converge. Once the Delaware offense reaches a corner, so you watch them curling up around goal line extended, that's go time. That's where they can just basically swallow the ball up, and they'll send 2-3 guys toward the ball and and just suffocate the offense.
We got offsides on St. Joe's, so Delaware gets it in transition. A late sub here for St. Joe's, beating the long stick out there, and that's number 13, DC Simone, who looked at the goal and then got smashed by Tyler Makar. So now St. Joe's gets it back in transition themselves. Nice move there on top by number 37. St. Joe's settling down a little bit now.
We've seen that working for them so far. I think so far the transition and kind of that chaos up in the middle of the field hasn't really favored St. Joe's. So I think they've got to stick to their guns here. Take those fast break opportunities when they have them, but value every possession.
St. Joe's now looking to work it around, and those good shots so key for them. Another shot there, it's wide. St. Joe's will retain possession. If you guys want to watch CAA Press Pass Wednesday nights on Lax Sports Network, we will bring you all the latest news and notes from around the conference and prepare you for the biggest games of the week. CAA Press Pass on Lax Sports Network every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. St. Joe's, they're working from X. It's Ryan Doran, the freshman, looking for some help, gets it. Nate Patterson shot without the ball. He lost it and then got smashed, and here comes Delaware. Delaware's going to settle this one down after it looked like St. Joe's was going to get a better opportunity there. They couldn't, Patterson just couldn't handle it. And that was a very nice slide, I thought, too, by Delaware to get in front of Patterson to kind of get in his head a little bit, too.
Sure, that's what Delaware, different type of defense, but certainly willing to collapse quickly when they see those opportunities to apply pressure.
So we're working it around a little bit now. There's Isley again, going low. That's his third of the game. Joe Isley going low. Delaware taking a 5-2 lead. Isley's 8th goal of the season. He's got a hat trick.
I like this goal a lot here, Tom, because Isley's not afraid to shoot overhand, which we tell so many of our young players at my camps and clinics. They all want to shoot that cool sidearm shot, but that goal looks pretty cool, going 5-hole there.
5-hole high to low.
Just too fast for the goaltender to react. And Adler, as quick as he is, that's just great placement. That's a good shot from that angle in that position.
Isley likes what he sees so far this game. It looks like he's playing pretty confidently. The senior from Egg Harbor, New Jersey.
Isley, 6'2", 210. That's a big boy out there. That ball. So you imagine the length of that. It's almost like trying to read a long pole's release on his shot.
Yeah,
because the ball's so far away from your body.
A little bit of a scrum there. Delaware does come out with it, getting another ground ball. They lead the ground ball battle 11-7 right now, so getting 4 more than St. Joe's.
Something I noticed about Delaware so far this season in their 3 wins is they're beating their opponents in almost every statistical category. They're playing really complete games, and I think that's been a key to their success. We'll see if they can continue to stay balanced here today.
Yeah, an 11-8 victory over Mount St. Mary's, a 12-4 victory over NJIT, and 8-4 on Saturday against Monmouth. So, so far, so good. I think they would have liked to see more on their offense on Saturday, but DeLuca was really a big fan of their defense. And there's another goal. Bryce Reed this time for Delaware. It is 6-2. Delaware going on a run. The junior from West Grove, Pennsylvania, with his 7th goal on the season. He had 20 goals last year.
I love this out of Reed here. Just good recognition. They're obviously forcing him to his right, and he managed to see that the defense is all looking upfield. They're not paying attention to the ball. They're all very concerned about their own man off ball. They've kind of been in that zone mentality, right, where they're kind of keeping their sticks up and playing spaces. Does a nice job just turning the corner.
So Delaware taking a 6-2 lead with about 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. We're going to take a short break.
What's going on? All season long, we're tracking the Player of the Year watch here on Lax Sports Network. This week, it's hard not to go with Yale faceoff man T.D. Erlin. In a top 6 matchup last Saturday, the Albany transfer went 25 of 31 with 22 ground balls against Penn State. That's 81% at the X. Not a bad way to continue making that first impression on your new team and a new fan base. Possibly the most impressive part about what he did is that he did it against another preseason All-American in Gerard Arceri. Entering this week, Erlin now leads the nation, winning nearly 77% at the faceoff X, coming off a season where he broke the single-season record for faceoff win percentage while at UAlbany. Make sure to stay tuned in all year long as we continue to track the Player of the Year race here on LSN.
So St. Joe's taking that timeout right before the break there, and we saw Taylor Ray lighting up his team. I mean, he was very, very enthusiastic, I guess is one way to put it.
Yeah, that's one way for sure. And, you know, he's got to light a fire here. I mean, they've got to get going here. You're watching a very different vibe on the sidelines. Coach DeLuca, you know, just kind of keeping that calm and encouraging his players to continue the good things that have got them this 4-goal lead. You know, in St. Joe's, they've got to start to play with a little bit more sense of urgency here. You know, there's plenty of game left, but they got to match that tempo.
And you talk about Coach DeLuca, and he, from just speaking to him, he believes so much in culture. I mean, culture was something to me that he couldn't stop talking about. I've spoken to him a few times this season. That's something in his second year really wants to establish.
Well, I thought that was great, you know, referencing some of his predecessors, you know, head coaches that he had worked with, Coach Janowski, which is such a great example. It embodies, I think, everything that's great about the game of lacrosse. I'm a big fan. I know he is as well. We had that conversation with Coach DeLuca as well, and he was speaking about, you know, how their job is not necessarily to win games. Their job is to develop young men of character, right? And that's part of their development as a college athlete. So I think that's really telling about his style, and I think that ultimately ends up translating to success in the long run.
Right. I think that's what you hit the nail on the head. In the long run, that's where success comes from. See Delaware now working it around, about 43 seconds to go on the shot clock. 8 minutes to go here in the second in Delaware. 6-2, the Blue Hens leading St. Joe's. See Kurtz there working from X. Out to Kitchen, who scores. Let's see if we get a celebration from Kitchen. I think he's just keeping it relaxed this game as Delaware takes a 7-2 lead. Kitchen's 6th goal of the season. Pretty nice from Kitchen out there, from Kurtz, from X. Nice combination. It's 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Well, I got to believe that Coach DeLuca has his offense practicing their hitch moves and their sweeps, because now we've got a couple of really strong, powerful sweeps over the top there against this zone. And I think the key to being able to stop that is you got to get inside out, right, and force them down the alley. Adler's going to do pretty well if you're forcing guys to lower angles, but allowing these guys to get topside to their strong hand is going to not essentially be a great shot for the Delaware offense.
It's a good shot at Kitchen there. You can see I mean, it might be cold and windy out there, but these guys are working pretty hard. He looked a little winded after that one. He was working pretty hard. It wasn't working. He usually is working from X in this one, but Kurtz was there, so you saw him there on the wing. Nice goal for Delaware, making it 7-2. St. Joe just looking to stop the bleeding, and they do get the violation on the faceoff, so they have possession, looking to cut into that 5-goal deficit. How do you get things settled here, Malcolm?
I feel like can't get too far away from your game plan, right? A lot of it's about execution. You don't want to end up trying to do too much, trying to score five goals at once. That's a slippery slope. Right? You just got to chip away and make one play at a time.
Yeah, you saw there, St. Joe's hasn't scored since about 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, so we're going almost a quarter of game time. So St. Joe's looking to try to get some of those better looks that they were trying to do against Providence last week. There's a shot. It's wide once again, but St. Joe's picks it up, has the backup there. There's Strazula looking to find some space, but nice slide there by Delaware. He does take a shot, and right in front is Matt Tufano, who just couldn't gather it. It looked like if he could, he had a point-blank shot there, but just couldn't take control. Yeah, you can see the Blue Hens there allowed 8 goals, 4 goals, and 4 goals this season. And St. Joe's, with just the 2 goals in the first half, Delaware just allowed 1 goal in the first half after the last 2 games. So even the 2 goals is more than normal.
Right, there's still plenty of game left here, and I think that's what Coach Ray's got to really emphasize to his players. Not time to push the panic button.
I think St. Joe's is still playing hard. I mean, you can tell they're still fighting for every ball. They're still working to try to get good looks, like Coach Ray's been preaching. So they've really stayed the course. I think a couple of their looks have been a little sketchy at times, but not every time down. They haven't had too many easy saves for DeLuca.
Sure, I mean, recognize he's a great goaltender. He's 6'6", and he moves well. He's going to make saves. You can't freak out when he makes a save. You just got to get back on defense and get the ball back.
Intro's being aggressive, moving it around again. Another save by DeLuca. We do have a penalty on the play, on the shot. Looks like we do have a St. Joe's player down. That's Evan Campbell, the sophomore. Looks like he got hit as he was shooting that one. We'll jog it off.
The ball across the field. Good hard drive down the alley.
Oh, he got hit late
Certainly.
there. Whew.
Certainly late.
That's
we don't know if he had the best angle to determine to the head. Sometimes that follow through ends up looking like head contact, but late, and where the player was defenseless.
Illegal body check, too late from Wade Arsler, who now has a 2-minute penalty. So St. Joe's on the man up. This would be a good opportunity right here for them with that 2-minute penalty.
Huge opportunity. You've got to really work hard to convert a goal out of this.
This is where their patience is going to come in key. There's the shot. It's wide from Strazula, but St. Joe's does have the backup with the man up, so they'll retain possession. About 60 seconds to go, 58 seconds on the shot clock, about 5:30 to go here in the second quarter. St. Joe's looking to cut into that 5-goal lead. See Ryan Doran working from X. Nick Fernacchio from the left side. Getting it out top to number 14. He can't get it to go. Tate Domick, another nice save by DeLuca in front. St. Joe's getting some looks. There's another one from Domick this time. He cashes in and scores. 7-3, St. Joe's cutting into that lead. About 5 minutes to play. That's Domick's 3rd goal of the season.
Another great example of an overhand release shot to beat a really good goaltender.
They call him their best dodging midfielder, but that shot in itself was pretty good. He didn't have to do any dodging there.
This is an excellent step down, great form. DeLuca talking to his defenseman there. I think he felt a little bit screened on that shot. Guys to get out the hands earlier. Well, just tremendous release. Stick side, but too much heat for DeLuca to catch up to.
Yeah, last year Teo Domick played a long stick midi. They moved him to short stick D midi, and then they're like, well, he is our best dodging midfielder. Let's get this guy some more shots. So as that penalty was non-releasable, St. Joe stays on the man up as it's still 7-3. St. Joe's looking to make a little bit of a dent here now. We have a timeout. So score 7-3, taking a little bit of a timeout here with a man up still for St. Joe's as that penalty continues. That illegal body check obviously making a big difference here in the second quarter as things were going Delaware's way for the most part. You know, we talked a little bit about Ben DeLuca earlier as he gets his guys going, taking the time out here. And like you said, the stops he's made, you know, he was the defensive coordinator for John Danowski, won an NCAA title in 2014. Said he learned from Danowski motivating, getting the most out of his guys. I think that's where he got a lot of his culture, too. And then obviously being at Cornell, an alum and an assistant there for so long, he went into Cornell and learned how to manage changing a culture and establishing as a foundation. He says Delaware is a different place, but he sort of feels it's similar to Cornell in that aspect.
Yeah, I know that he had spoken a lot about, you know, regardless of class, you know, what graduation year the players were, That wasn't important to him either, even though he has a little bit more balanced roster. You know, I think a lot of it was about engagement. You even saw early on in the game, guys are hugging each other right? Before the game. There's a lot of love on that sideline. You know, so these guys, they love lacrosse. They love their teammates. He mentioned the word love a couple of times in our conversations. I think that's very telling about that family culture that he's really trying to instill there at Delaware.
And something else that stuck with me is the guys get things about legacy, history. You know, John Grant Jr., even our own Evan Washburn there. I mean, just understanding that's they're part of that legacy, and it's their job to uphold that legacy. I think is important for any program with the history of Delaware's. Curtis Dixon, great indoor player at Delaware, too. Here we go. St. Joe's right off the bat here, but another nice save from DeLuca. That one a little bit easier right in front, but he does make the save. Big save there for DeLuca with St. Joe's on the man up. About 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. College Central halftime show, LSN College Central halftime show coming up here. First half highlights and a preview of Loyola and Towson coming up tomorrow right here on LSN. And the PLL announcing their team names and logos today. So something to be said of for that. Should be interesting to see what they had to unveil. All coming up at the half in about 4 minutes here as St. Joe's and Delaware wind things out and they'll talk things over in the locker room. The Delaware penalty just expired, so now we are back to even strength. St. Joe's able to get one goal out of that non-releasable 2-minute penalty. There's Isley again. He's been dangerous. Senior Dean Samo looking for some space. Gets his hands. Oh, okay. Oh, he tricked me even there, Malcolm. That was close. Ball looks like it bounced off the defenseman. Easy save there for Adler. Let's see if they can get it going in transition. Delaware seemed a little rushed there.
Yeah, I think the shot they ended up with wasn't quite as good as the shot that they could have realized on the previous play. I think sometimes you just got to let it fly.
Yeah.
You know, you just trust your attackman to back up the shot, and you either score or you miss the cage.
How
right?
well
You're shooting corners.
How well Isley shot the ball. I thought he was going to let it rip. He seemed pretty confident. There's Doran working from X, looking to find a move. Nice slide there. Kevin McCormick finding a spot. Doran gets put on his back. What a play there by Strasner.
Great physical defense by Strasner there.
It was a clean legal check, and it worked out as Delaware now has possession once again. Delaware settling things down. Delaware taking another timeout, their second of the half. I just mentioned Evan Washburn a few minutes ago. We actually got his take on his Blue Hens as we take a quick break.
Well, Delaware 3-0, and it's good to see this program working its way back to prominence. Obviously, the time I spent there, 5 seasons, we never had a losing record. And in 2008, my final year there, we actually started 4-0 and made our way to Georgetown as a top 10 team and then had a rough outing. It was actually a midweek game. So similar in nature to what they have ahead of them against St. Joe's here. Not as good a team St. Joe's is as that Georgetown team was, but equally as important as this group under Ben DeLuca continues to try and regain some of the tradition that was built before I was there, while I was there, and in the years immediately afterwards where this team returned to the NCAA tournament. I love what I've seen from this program and from what Ben's been able to bring along with Noah Fosner and the rest of that coaching staff. And they have a massive one on the horizon against Villanova, but they can't look past St. Joe's. And the way the schedule lines out for this team, I think that they can have a win total around or north of 10, and that would be fantastic for this team and for this program. So as neutral as I have to be when I call games, I am not calling a Delaware game all season. So I'm rooting for them, and good luck.
Yeah, Delaware hasn't been 4-0 since that season he mentioned, since 2008. They haven't been over 500 since 2011, so you can kind of feel that Evan's rooting for them to get back on the right track, you know, and back on terms of that winning side of things that he experienced, you know?
Sure, and, you know, setting the bar, I think, realistically at the 10 wins, and anything above that is, is gravy. But, I think they want to try and win every game.
Yeah. Well, they were 3-0 last year at this point and then played Villanova. So interesting stretch of the season where they have this 4th game and then Villanova next week.
When you've got DeLuca, you can see when he gets hot. I mean, you got a guy like that in the cage, you got a chance in just about every game.
That's Dean DeSimone with a couple guys on him. Is wide of the net.
Certainly going to feel like that when he's making those point-blank saves on your behalf.
Yeah. They have Villanova this Saturday, actually. Excuse me, not next week. Next game. Here's Isley with a little bit of space in front. Nice save by Adler. Then the dive by Kurtz. There is a penalty on the play. No goal, number 1. About a minute and a half to go. We'll see what it is.
Kurtz trying to surprise Adler there with the quick release. I had a lot more time than I think he realized down the middle here.
See the save by Adler. Kurtz picked it up. We do have a penalty on St. Joe's. Tom Tarleton from behind there with the push on Kurtz. So Delaware retains possession after all that in front. Delaware does go a man up as well. It's just the 30-second variety. About a minute and 20 seconds to go here in the half. Delaware working it around quite a bit here. Trying to find that shot. There is the shot off the crossbar and goes out of bounds. St. Joe's does get possession. They win the race. That's a huge turn of events for St. Joe's, especially a man down.
Jack Anderson with the hustle play. Those are like little goals for D middies, by the way. Not nearly as much glory, but those are the difference makers in games that when you're trying to chip away. Those possessions matter.
That pretty much prevents St. Joe's from going down 8-3 heading into the half if Delaware was able to convert there. So they have retained possession here. Shot clock off, 40 seconds to go. That penalty will release to make it even strength in just a moment here. It looks like St. Joe's is going to try to get the best shot they can before this time expires. About 20 seconds to go now. St. Joe's working it around now in X. 15. Ryan Dorn looking to make something happen. Looks like he's going to get it out on top with 10 seconds to go. St. Joe's looking to get a shot off. Here's Nick Vernacchio looking to get open. Another save by DeLuca, picked up by Delaware. They'll throw it across the field as time expires. Delaware leading 7-3 at the half out there in Newark, rather. All right, get set to get the second half going here at the face-off X. Joe Lenskold still in there taking on Zach Cole for St. Joe's. See if we can get a clean win out of here for one of these guys. And it is St. Joe's who picks up the first face-off, and the third quarter has begun. Tom Eschen with Malcolm Chase here. And an early shot there. Zach Cole, the face-off man, who does do that at times. Good part of their transition game. He does take some shots. That one off the mark. You see Cole getting actually back on the defensive set of things and not able to get a sub in there. So he might be at an advantage as he looks like he's going to get off the field. So quick start to the third quarter.
Yeah, some great early action there. Again, I mean, you can't argue with the shot placement. I just think that's what DeLuca does so well. It's just basically turning himself into a sail out there. It's tough to shoot through a sail. 6'6", 225-pound sail.
8 saves for DeLuca now, that first one of the second half. Delaware looking to increase their lead and get a good start to the second half and see if Ben DeLuca's halftime speech worked. There we go. There's Kurtz in front, going low again. Man, he's got that shot down. If we're seeing something from Kurtz, it's that he likes to go low, and he does it very well. His second goal today. Excuse me, he's got a hat trick now.
Yeah,
I missed one.
Ty Kurtz, I mean, he's so calm in the pocket there. You know, he's just so casual about that shot. Just very comfortable letting this release go low and away.
Is that something where is it just a go-to for him? It's just a low bouncer, or is that something he's seeing in the defense?
seems to be something that works pretty well for him. I think we saw some shots earlier overhand, and that's just speaks to his stick, right? And just the quality of shots he's able to generate. And good shooters do that. They know how to mix it up on a solid goaltender like Adler, able to find the pockets.
Kurtz is just a freshman, really making an impact for this Delaware team. Delaware with an 8-3 lead now in the third, and they do have possession off the face-off violation. And we told you Kurtz's story earlier. Just impressive that he is able to translate his indoor experience to the field experience so well, and really a testament to the coaching staff at Delaware that they've been able to say, here, this is what you do well indoor. Now let's make that happen outdoors too. The Delaware here working for Max, is trying to pad onto that lead. Pass goes through the front, but there's another shot. It's wide. Delaware has the backup. Delaware getting a lot of chances here, especially at the start of the second half, kind of like they started the first half too.
Well, if that pass had connected with Isley, that's a really decent look, and they're still able to generate a shot of that missed catch.
Yeah, Isley looks like he's doing a decent job sneaking around, but this isn't Isley. It looks like it got deflected there. Adler, the easy save. Another big hit. Wow, Dean DeSimone laying the wood there. The St. Joe's player is down. No penalty on the play. St. Joe's staff not happy with that at all.
Good job by Liam Hare there to challenge the shooter. And that's a clean hit, Tom. That's shoulder to shoulder. This is a physical game.
It's Sean Vocal on the ground.
Certainly don't like to see players down for any extended period of time.
Always tough to see a guy down. Well, later on tonight, Lacrosse Now, the only place you can get a complete roundup from the entire lacrosse world every evening. Lacrosse happens 365 days a year, as we know, and we have you covered on all of them every day with news, highlights, analysis you can't find anywhere else. We cover the entire world of lacrosse from the college, high school, pro game. Lacrosse Now, every night, 9 Eastern, only on Lax Sports Network. The Delaware guys taking a knee here. Nice show of sportsmanship.
I think that's a fine line that we're dancing here with the game of lacrosse, right? It's, where you've seen the rules committees kind of clamping down on the timing of hits, certainly trying to protect the players' heads first and foremost. And the addition of the dive, you've really got to get consistent with how you call those hits, and kind of take an opportunity here. Good to see this young man getting off the field safely.
Sean Vocal, a sophomore, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Looks like he'll be okay. Just a little shaken up. Hopefully for the best there.
Sure.
Just a little shaken off after that big hit by DeSimone. About 13 minutes to play here in the second half. It's been an interesting second half so far. A lot going on at this point. St. Joe's does have possession still, as there was no penalty on the play. Just taking time to attend to the injured player. Looked like calling for an offsides call. Yes, it is on St. Joe's. Delaware takes over possession.
Delaware almost getting away with the running start there.
It looked like it for a second there, didn't it? It seems that's happened a couple times at St. Joe's. They're trying to run in transition, but their timing's been a little off.
You got to sell the run as a fast walk. The refs might let you go.
I think that's an Olympic sport, isn't it? Speed walking?
I hope not.
It's harder than you think. The Delaware working the ball around. It's Bryce Reed on the left side now. The goal line extended, looking to make a move, passing it out front. Delaware moving it around. There's DeSimone. Kitchen looking to get something going. Working on his man, turns, fires, and scores. 9-3. Delaware taking the lead on St. Joe's, and there's Kitchen once again, the junior from Marlton, New Jersey, his 7th goal of the year, his 2nd today. And you can see why he's so talented. And 6'4", 215. I I mean, you can see he's being physical here, and that's it's a staple, especially for an attackman.
Well, and he's really shown his versatility as an attackman, making so much money on that right side wing, and now dodging to his left and setting up his own question mark. That dodge is by design. He wants St. Joe's to be running to the top side, and we're trained as defensemen to prevent that top side dodge and to force him to the inside roll. Unfortunately for St. Joe's, Kitchen knows what he's doing, and he's very strong with that right-handed shot.
Yeah, big reason he led his team, the CAA, last year with 37 goals, first team All-CAA. So you can definitely see why he is so potent and such a talented attackman. Taking it down a notch for the celebrations today. I thought we expect a little bit more, but maybe if he gets a hat trick, we'll see. Just not wanting to run it up too much, and here he is with the ball again. 9-3 Delaware, about 11 minutes to go here in the third.
Delaware is fortunate enough to make a playoff run here. Later on in the season, we might see the regrowth of the mustache and maybe a little bit more flair on those celebrations as well.
Well, Ben DeLuca, we talked to him a little about the culture and everything like that. He said, Charlie Kitchen understands he's just part of the team, but they give him the freedom to be creative and kind of be himself. And I think that's important for any team to be successful. Looked like Isley got hit in the head there. He's okay, but I think Joe's getting away with one. Here's Chase Conkle going to work. Gets a little bit of a pick. Finds his hands free. That shot's wide, but there's Kitchen right behind. That shot or pass, he gathered it pretty quickly. There's Kurtz again. He goes low again. Another goal for Kurtz, and Delaware takes a 10-3 lead. Kurtz's 4th goal on the afternoon. The freshman looking good.
Tom, I think if we're drawing up a shot placement chart here, you're going to see multiple shots from that exact location today, low to low.
Yeah.
Just having a lot of success. This is one of those situations. I think you got to hold your ground and just let the shot clock run out there, right? In that hung up situation. Don't be impatient. Hold your ground in front of the cage.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to step out to their man's hands, right? Cover up. And if Kitchen decides to go to the cage, just let the defender meet him on one side of the goal or the other.
Kai Kurtz, 4 goals, the freshman from Ontario, doing a nice job today, going low.
Yeah, Kurtz has such a sweet release on that shot. And he's able to really maximize that low shot. But a lot of other situations. There's three underhand.
See a little bit of a pattern here.
Yep.
Yeah, Ben DeLuca says he acts a lot older than his age, and I think some of that, the indoor experience helps with being on a championship team in Canada and doing such a good job with that, and I think that's translated to his play in the field game, and he's a mature freshman, which are very valuable, especially as talented as Kurtz seems to be.
Well, if you think that he's good now, I mean, wait till he really adjusts to the speed and the spacing and timing of the field game. He's only going to get better. And I think that's why so many teams now are investing in Canadian players, even if they had limited field experience, because the upside is so great. That's something I can speak to. Being a Whittier College grad back before recruiting Canadians was cool. We had 13 Canadians on my team. A couple of Team Canada guys and guys like Ryder Bateman and Kelly Hall. Those names may date me a little bit, but those guys were phenomenal, and I'm reminded of those players as freshmen and just how cool it was watching them figure out the field game kind of game by game.
There's Kitchen over the middle. That one looked like it went off of Adler and out of bounds. Yeah, Ben DeLuca talked about just doing their due diligence and recruiting, from everywhere they possibly can, getting their hands and really getting to know the family and the kid himself, which is so important to building that culture, as we talked about. Delaware retains possession. St. Joe's still playing hard on defense. They've made it difficult at times for Delaware, but Delaware has just been able to convert on their opportunities. Pass there in front. Ball bouncing around now. That was a tough catch there in front for Isley. The shot clock does expire there. Just trying to get something going as the shot clock was winding down.
It's been a long time since St. Joe's has been able to force Delaware down to the waning seconds of the shot clock.
The second time, the first time this half, second time this game. Let's see if St. Joe's can get something going here to dig into this 7-goal lead. About a little less than 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Delaware really showing why their defense has been so good this year. St. Joe's moving around, making Delaware move a little bit on this possession.
Great lift check.
Austin Haynes, the senior close defenseman, doing a nice job there.
Very, very patient. You know, it's a senior kind of play.
There's the shot, another save. It looked like it bounced way back into the middle of the field there by, nice save by DeLuca. Scrum for the ball at the 50. Got a push on St. Joe's. Delaware takes over. It's like they're going to try to move a little bit here. It's hard to tell really what happened in that last shot, but it looked like there was another deflection, and the ball bouncing out looked like another nice save by DeLuca. There's Chase Conkle as a St. Joe's player goes down. Conkle getting it out. There's Isley, shoots. It's wide again, shooting amidst some traffic.
Great hitch move over the top there.
Teo Domick going down as he was shooting it. Looked like it went off the post. Delaware moving it around. Even Hirschman up top. Gets it in front, right there, goal line extended. That's Kitchen who fires. It bounced a little bit past the goal there. Delaware still retains possession, getting some of those ground balls there, and then scoring again is Kurtz. Kurtz taking advantage of every opportunity he's gotten. He's been so efficient all game long. Delaware taking an 11-3 lead. Kurtz has 5. This one's sort of a chaotic situation that he gets the ball and just shoots and scores.
This is a nifty top-down feed here. Isley just seeing the inside. Everything looks very, very calm amidst that chaos.
Yeah, you know, it seemed like St. Joe's was trying to recover to kind of find their spot again after the loose ball after the shot, and just couldn't catch up with Kurtz, who was streaking over the middle there.
I think that's going to be the word on Delaware by most of their opponents, if not all their opponents going forward, is that if the ball turns over, immediately get back in the hole and get inside out, because they're so dangerous in those broken plays.
Delaware winning the ground ball battle right now, 24-12, which has really said a lot about some of their second chance opportunities that they've taken advantage of. Kurtz with a hat trick in less than 8 minutes. Likes those cold temperatures, I guess.
Likes those low-to-low shots as well.
Yes. So St. Joe's looking to get something going. That's Doran up top. There's the shot once again wide. Ball bouncing out in front now. Delaware once again picks it up. Another ground ball. Austin Haynes getting it out. Delaware in transition. Six minutes to go here in the third. Delaware up 11-3, an 8-goal lead. Their defense showing why it's one of the best in the country, as has DeLuca in goal. I don't think we've mentioned this yet, but Ben DeLuca and Matt DeLuca are not related, in case you guys are wondering. Kurtz working from X now, switching spots with Kitchen there. Let's see if they try to get something going. About 35 seconds to go on the shot clock. Been interesting with the shot clock. We've seen some ebb and flow, but still teams waiting to get into their sets and finding good opportunities. And there is an opportunity. Deflected. Delaware keeps the ball with just 12 seconds to go on the shot clock, though. Does not reset in that situation. Less than 10 seconds on the shot clock. They look like they're aware. There's D. Simone, who's going to dodge and look to score, and it's wide. Delaware has the backup, and the shot clock does go to 0. Less than 5 minutes to go here in the third.
Speaking to your point, I think it's really about quality over quantity. You know, in this game, teams are so dangerous in transition. You get stuck out there with your offensive unit that doesn't have nearly as many reps as your defensive unit. You're going to be a little bit more calculated, generally speaking. So I think St. Joe's has to start to take some chances on both ends of the field here. And again, I don't think it's panic button. That leads to a lot of mistakes. You've got to play almost a perfect game to kind of pull out a comeback like this.
So Delaware with possession here because there was a penalty on St. Joe's, unnecessary roughness. So Delaware a man up. That happened towards the end of the shot clock there. The penalty coming very late in that shot clock. So Delaware retains possession with a man up with yet another opportunity. So they get a full new shot clock after all that. And a man up. Working it around Kitchen. The fake. Works it around to Kurtz. Delaware working very smooth on offense this game. Jump shot and score, Bryce Reed. Delaware taking advantage of the man up and taking a 12-3 lead. Reed with the goal. Reed's second goal of the day, his 8th of the season. The junior from West Grove, Pennsylvania.
This is very patient man up offense out of Delaware. They're just keeping their eyes and their hands up. Cycling through underneath. Reed just doing a good job showing around edge of the cage there. This little jump shot, reminiscent of the K18. Kyle Harrison used to do that so well. Not the only guy, certainly one of those guys that kind of stands out in my mind.
Yeah, made his mark doing that. And you remember him for things like that, yeah. And he's still playing, doing it to this day.
Still doing it.
St. Joe's does win this face-off, so 12-3 Delaware, less than 5 minutes to go here in the third. You know, Delaware scored only 8 goals in their last game against Monmouth, so I think they probably over the last couple days had looked at the offense a little bit, finding ways to sort of get things settled. To 12 goals ties the season high. They scored 12 against NJIT as well. So this offensive output, one of the best of the season so far. Here goes St. Joe's right in front there. Strazula a little bit wide of the cage, just bounce back as they have the backup. Nice gather there by Doran. Looking to get it up top. Strazula working around, goes to the middle. Another nice deflection by the defense. Zach Strassner there in front. We've seen a few of those from Delaware. Deflections not even allowing St. Joe's to get to the goal, and we did know that Taylor Ray said that they had to get to the front of the goal against this Delaware defense and DeLuca. Knowing how good DeLuca was and knowing how good this defense was, he knew they had to get some easy opportunities in front, which they haven't done at all in the second half.
Yeah, well, I think that's a credit to Delaware's defense. I mean, just doing a great job at covering up inside. And, that was a blind turn into a defender.
Here's a transition opportunity for Doran. Another beautiful save by DeLuca. That was not an easy one at all. Ryan Doran coming in hot. DeLuca making the save. Looked like he had to reach back a little bit to get it with his right hand.
This looked like he pulled that out of the cage. So it was so quick. Really such great reactions and movement for such a big player.
You see his 9 saves today. St. Joe's does retain possession. That was one of the opportunities they've been looking for, St. Joe's, to get something going. That's Teo Domick once again stopped by DeLuca. That one a little easier, but still, Domick was pretty open, had an opportunity there. Less than 2 minutes now to go in the third. Delaware up 12-3.
These aren't terrible shot locations, right? You're shooting against such a great goaltender. Again, that movement is key. It's almost better to kind of pull it out for a second and see if you got somebody on the far side and get guys streaking on the backside, constantly moving. But you know, amidst this chaos and you're feeling the pressure of that lead, you're going to take everything that you can get.
St. Joe's not many opportunities, like you said, off a pass. And it's an assisted goal. And I think that's something that you had noticed that we were talking about before the game. Delaware not allowing many assisted goals this year. There's that save once again. See, he caught it twice. That hand-eye coordination, quick reflexes. That's what you need in a goalie. Now we're working it around. Kitchen at X, looking out to get it up top. Crossfield pass. Another one off the post. Steven Hirschman, the senior.
St. Joe stepping out, applying a lot of pressure to hands, but Delaware's up to the task. Those guys can move the ball quickly.
55 seconds to play. There's Kitchen from X. About 73 on the shot clock, so Delaware will have to get one off, and St. Joe's might. Actually, the shot clock doesn't matter. I did my math wrong. There you go. 35 seconds to go in the quarter. Delaware looking like they're going to get the last shot. Here's Hirschman working out way wide on the wing. St. Joe's with a slide. Jackson Finnegan gets his hands free. The save in front. What a double save there by Adler. Saved the rebound as well. Big saves there to stand tall for St. Joe's at the end of the half, but Delaware leading 12-3 as we finish up the third quarter and head into the fourth here at Delaware Stadium. Back at Delaware Stadium here in Newark, Delaware. 12-3 Delaware as we begin the fourth. You saw a couple nice saves there by Mike Adler to end the third quarter. He's got a very interesting story of even how he was recruited, and it all started with a shark bite. He was bitten by a shark back in 2013. He was surfing, and there was a storm coming through in Florida, some big swells, his last run of the day. He said he felt something grab his leg. It was a 6-foot bull shark. He struggled getting in because he had a big gash on his leg. There was actually an Army medic there who made a tourniquet on the beach. He was in the hospital for a few days, so he was late to the recruiting cycle. His coach Ray got a call from Tony Seaman, the Hall of Famer at a rival Florida high school, and Seaman said Adler single-handedly guided his team to a state title against Seaman's team. So he hates talking about the shark attack, but pretty incredible story of how he made his way to St. Joe's.
Yeah, such a crazy story, and I mean, what luck to have an Army medic right there.
Right,
who,
might have saved his life. Who knows? It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's wild. Good to see him alive and well, and
yeah,
making some pretty incredible saves despite the score. I mean, those last two saves at the end of the quarter are just phenomenal.
See why they like him so much at St. Joe's. Pretty laid-back personality. Here's a shot, and right on cue. There's the save from Adler, starting things in transition. St. Joe's looking to move things quickly now to make up this deficit. I did ask Coach Ray if he's a surfer. He said no. They don't do so much surfing in Alberta. I think that's where he's from. Yeah. So Delaware gets the ball back after the failed attempt at transition. There's Jackson Finnegan looking to get something going. Finnegan has a couple goals this year. There's the shot from Isley, rather. Another save by Adler. And now St. Joe's gets it in transition. Looks like they got something cooking here. There's the shot. Saved by DeLuca. What you see in that save, Malcolm?
I saw the shots that he has a lot of success with, are those high to low point blank shots. I've seen a lot of, that's a very common shot location for St. Joseph's today, that ended up being saves.
Well, interesting.
Unfortunately, but I think even there, maybe even changing levels and getting, dip and dunking him from that position. Hard to do when you're running full speed downhill, but that's a good example of how, now we're kind of in panic mode. Right, we're going to put anything on the cage that we can, and with a goalie like DeLuca, the majority of those end up being saved.
And St. Joe's a young team, and we know they struggled against Providence on Saturday, losing 14-5. And we know Delaware, as Coach Ray said, a similar team to Providence. Here's another shot there by DeSimone. It's a little bit high. So Delaware, a similar team to Providence. St. Joe's having similar problems against a similar team. There's another save by Adler right in front. And it went off the shaft of his stick there. Interesting. There's George Ward working from X, the freshman. Failed pass attempt out front. The ball's loose. Over to St. Joe's. They're going to start moving the ball now to try to pick up that deficit. Ball out of bounds. The St. Joe's does retain possession. Looks like it must have got deflected there. It's a good time now for this young team to dig deep and see, hey, we're down 12-3. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we can make this a ball game. Make this one respectable. There's Strazula from the wide side of the field. Goal line extended. Finding an open. I thought Patterson could have taken the shot there. Decides not to.
Don't fall into that trap there, Tom. DeLuca wants you to take that shot. He's begging you to. Just padding his stats. No,
that's why I'm up here and he's down there. That's why everybody else is down there.
Perhaps, but I think you're 100% right. You know,
there's the shot. Another save by DeLuca. That one low that time.
You got Adler, you know, on the other end.
Oh, picks you up in front.
They managed to get one.
And they do get the goal. Wasn't sure if it went in or not, but it does. That's number 20, Nick Vernacchio, who gets the score.
And this speaks to my point I was just about to make. You know, this is just a hard-working, scrappy goal right inside. You got your goaltender on the other end making diving saves on your behalf despite the score. You got to play for each other, and that speaks to character.
Man,
right?
It says a lot. There's 3 St. Joseph's guys on that, knowing that ball was up for grabs.
Yep. You want to go out with some positives here and translate that fourth quarter success to the next game.
12-4 now. Delaware leading. St. Joe's trying to dig into that lead. About 11 minutes to go here in the fourth. St. Joe's picks it up off the faceoff. Ball in play once again, and there is Delaware picking it up. St. Joe's looked like they were just trying to move a little too fast down the field there with the ball being loose. But Delaware does go out of bounds there, so St. Joe's gets possession back.
Play scrappy, play hard, try to avoid penalties.
Yeah, the St. Joe's hadn't scored since about midway through the first, snapping that drought. They did score once in the second as well. Delaware taking their time to get it over, and the pass, not good. St. Joe's takes over. Looking to cash in. The long stick goal there. Liam Hare scores. 12-5 with the penalty.
Good pressure on the ride there that paid off for him. Zach Manti.
Yeah, good opportunity to put the ride in, rather, excuse me.
Yeah, and awesome job going right down the gut. Carrying that shot with the long pole.
Yeah, Liam Harrow was an LSM, long stick midi last year. He bumped to midfield. He does bump to midfield at times this year, but mainly a close defenseman for this squad. The junior out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania.
Harrow, excuse me.
It's an illegal body check, a 2-minute unreleasable penalty. Chase Conkle, the senior on Delaware, will have to sit out. Nice to see Hare walking off on his own power.
Those are the kind of plays that can spark you, too, you know.
St. Joe's a little flurry here at the beginning of the fourth.
So Matt Tufano running in, the players getting around him, celebrating those goals, and you got to celebrate those little successes.
Like we said, that says a lot about a team, a young team, and how you handle situations like this. You put a couple more goals in, and it's a 4-goal game with a few minutes to go, and it gets interesting.
Yeah, we like interesting.
There's another pass out there. Doran just wide. St. Joe's looking to take advantage of the man-up situation. did score a goal earlier in the first half on the man up. There's Duran behind, X, moving it around. Another deflection by Delaware. Again, they're sticking the right spot. There's the shot.
And they've been so good at that today. Several number of turnovers by their long poles, just getting their stick in passing lanes.
Like 8 turnovers today. Yeah.
Driven home by every defensive coordinator in the country, whether or not your players
heard that a few times.
Doing that.
Pass over the middle. There's the save by DeLuca. Strazula trying to cash in. He couldn't. Strazula, the best shooter on the team for St. Joe's. And DeLuca all over it once again. It's almost like you want to take a little more time to get a better shot, but at the same time, you're down 7 goals in 9 minutes to play, so you got to get some shots off.
The conundrum of facing DeLuca.
Little stoppage in play here. DeLuca's faced 28 shots on goal, 12 saves. Allowed 5 goals. With those 12 saves, that's a 70% save percentage.
There's the math skills coming back to you.
Now they're coming out, yep. You had me looking at numbers for long enough. Osmosis. After the stoppage, it's even strength once again. A 5-on-5 right now with another penalty. From X, there's Kurtz looking low once again. A save by Adler in front, scoops it up nicely there to stop the rebound attempt. And Adler's out running.
Nice job by St. Joe's to cover up that near side collapse.
But once again, St. Joe's trying to go too fast and don't have the right amount of guys on the field. And Delaware looking to take advantage on the other end. Easy save there by Adler. I don't know about easy is the right way to put it, but a nice one. Simone trying to cash in on the transition opportunity. St. Joe's running once again. St. Joe's moving quickly. A little too quickly. Now they get back on their feet.
Pressure by Austin Haynes there.
Taylor Ray decided to take a timeout. Things a little bit discombobulated with about 8 minutes to go here in the fourth. Delaware up 12-5, and St. Joe's is going to take some time to talk over how they can dig out of this hole. Here from Delaware Stadium, we'll take a quick break. Welcome back to Newark, Delaware, everybody. And Delaware leading 12-5 over St. Joe's here this afternoon. And a blustery, cold day in Newark. So far, it's been a battle between these two teams. Here's a look at what Delaware has in the next couple weeks here. They travel for a big one at Villanova on March 2nd, and then take on Mercer. You can see that right here on LSN. You can see every Delaware home game here on LSN. And then a 3-game road stretch at Johns Hopkins, at Michigan, and then at Fairfield as well. After that, at 4-game road stretch, rather. And the schedule gets a little tougher now for Delaware after the first few games of the season of getting some nice wins.
Well, they've got some ranked opponents upcoming. I think that they're going to learn from each of these wins. Coach Luke is not the type of guy to rest on his laurels. He's going to highlight a lot of the mistakes and try to iron those out. They head into the middle part of their season.
There's another deflection, another cause turnover. Well, this is definitely an interesting, this game, they have 2 midweek games Delaware has. St. Joe's has 2 midweek games too, and how these teams prepare. It's such a quick turnaround. It really says a lot about the coaching staff and about the team in terms of what you do during those 2 days to get ready for an opponent.
That's called Division III, Tom. That's what that quick turnaround is all about. And you're at Whittier, you get a day.
Happens at every level, doesn't it? I guess.
No, but that's a great point. I mean, you're playing your heart out. Recovery's really a really strong consideration. So when you're designing your practices, you got to think about what are the most important things, and hopefully your players are in shape. You're not running conditioning practices.
There's a shot that's wide.
Really working on the technical and tactical components of your game, and
a lot of mental work.
Trying to put those pieces in place. And you know, every coach is a little bit different in terms of how they structure, and you know, are they focusing on what they do really well? How much are they focusing on their opponent? There's a balance you need to strike.
20 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Delaware certainly
got about 11 seconds to go on the shot clock here.
Struck that balance today.
Delaware looking to get one off. Taking some time off. There's the shot, kind of deflected, and rolls out of bounds with 1 second on the shot clock, and it'll reset as St. Joe's takes over. Don't forget about our CAA game of the week. It's tomorrow evening. It's a huge one. The Towson Tigers, now ranked 7th in the country, will play host to the top-ranked Loyola Greyhounds and preseason player of the year, Pat Spencer. Ellison's coverage begins at 5:30 with the Lacrosse Now pregame show. Face-off set for 6. CAA game of the week only on Lax Sports Network. Back to the action, and there is Charlie Kitchen with the goal there in transition as Delaware took over. The Blue Hens taking a 13-5 lead. Kitchen's 8th goal of the season. He's got a hat trick.
Nice transition here, and Kitchen doing a nice
the great fake in front.
Pump fake and twister around Adler there.
Kitchen showing more of a skill set with the twister there.
Canadian skill set there.
Yeah, right, exactly. See a lot of that in the indoor game.
Teammate skills rubbing off on him there.
Looked like St. Joe's had an offsides there, which gave Delaware the ball quickly in transition. St. Joe just burnt a little bit at times by those offsides calls, trying to get out too quickly, especially in the second half. .5:30 to go here in the fourth. Delaware up 13-5.
We're going to see Delaware, unless it's wide open, they're going to see them use up just about every shot clock they've got here on the remaining possessions.
Seeing them move the ball around quite a bit there. There's Kitchen looking aggressive, and he does score once again. So much for that. He saw it, he liked it, and he scored. That's Kitchen, once again, his 4th goal of the day, starting to heat up now, as is Delaware, more and more as the game goes on, seeing Kitchen get involved.
Well, hard to slow that guy down.
Yeah, he saw them, as you could see, as soon as he turned it on the Jets there. Yeah, beating his guy to the spot, turning, firing. Adler didn't really have much of a chance on that one.
No, he just caught him off guard there near side. Great job at torquing his body, running straight uphill, and getting a lot of pace on that shot.
Yeah, like you said, all his momentum was going the opposite direction, and just a testament to his athleticism, really. St. Joe's trying to work a little too fast. Less than 5 minutes to go here. Like the sun went behind some clouds as the bells are tolling. Ominous, but not for Delaware. You see some of the guys that we had known about going into this game really coming through, and especially Kurtz, who Ben DeLuca spoke very highly of before the game, and just being a freshman with 5 goals, this kind of a venue is a pretty big deal. And Kitchen and Isley, guys we know, but Kurtz really stepping up. (14-5), Delaware with the lead over St. Joe's here. About 4 minutes to go here in the fourth. Tom Eschen, Malcolm Chase on the call. About 20 seconds on the shot clock. There's another opportunity. That shot wide, right along the goal line, extended there. We're working it around, still looking for their opportunities and not being shy about it, especially with the shot clock running down. Getting their other guys in the mix, trying to get them some action. That's Mark Beda. And these guys, good opportunity for them to get some work and see what they can do. So when their time is called, they showed Coach DeLuca they can do it. Conco gathering it out front. Clay Miller getting hit there. Absorbs it. Off the post. St. Joe's recovers.
As the season progresses, your depth is crucial going down the stretch. So you definitely want to get your younger players more reps.
Especially when Delaware hits that CAA schedule, which the CAA looking very strong this year with teams like Drexel we just saw here on Saturday, battling Albany. Drexel's been fun to watch, playing all these one-goal games. Hofstra's been another competitive team this year. We know about Towson tomorrow right here on LSN taking on Loyola. And then you have UMass, the defending champs. Looking for an opportunity in front. That pass sailing wide. Clay Miller saving it from going out of bounds. Mark Beda passing it up top. Delaware taking their time now. About 2 minutes to go, less than 30 seconds on the shot clock. Going to take every second of this they can while getting some opportunities in the process. Just heard someone on the sideline say that's why they wear helmets. So we know it's physical out there. Physical, cold, blustery day. Delaware yielding it as the shot clock expires. We were saying there was a game on Saturday, and we were calling the highlights, and in the background you could see there, you could know it's windy because you see there's a privacy fence with some of the construction they're doing at the stadium, and some of that privacy fence isn't there anymore. So you know the weather's been interesting as it has been in the mid-Atlantic, northeastern states, the Midwest, throughout the country the last couple days. Been windy.
Yes. Glad they moved the machine out of there earlier in the game. Give the players a little break.
Yeah, they wrapped up a little earlier probably than usual today. Getting their work done. St. Joe's looking for an opportunity there. That one off the post. Minute to play here in the fourth quarter. Delaware up 14-5.
It's Cole Peters going for glory there. Freshman dream.
Opportunity to get some looks and get some stats, and with DeLuca now out of the game, that's Peter Ripperger with the save. It was a really nice pass there. Can't go back over and back after the first 20 seconds. 24 seconds. Looks like St. Joe's is going to try to get one more opportunity. $15 seconds to play. St. Joe's with the ball. Delaware looks like they're going to go 4-0 for the first time since the year 2008. But before that, we have a goal for St. Joe's. A little late goal for the Hawks. Making it 14-6. Zach Manti with his first goal of the season.
Manti high flying here
For the freshman.
Lot of effort leading up to that dive, let alone the dive, which is
we got to see a dive, you know.
Fantastic play. beat a couple of men just to get to that spot on the field. And why not?
First goal of the season, and good time to get as a freshman for Manti. First goal of your career. St. Joe's on the push, a man up two, so this is the last face-off most likely of the game. 2-1, and it's Delaware beating St. Joe's 14-6. Delaware improving to 4-0. St. Joe's falling to 2-2. Delaware taking on Villanova on Saturday and looking good doing it. Once again, another great defensive performance. Great performance by DeLuca in goal with 12 saves. Big win for Delaware. 14-6 the final, and just seemed like they outplayed St. Joe's today on both ends.
And I think that's true to form, right? I mean, they've done a great job thus far this season. Now 4-0, and really playing complete games, not without mistakes. Mistakes happen. Teams learn. They start to minimize mistakes and mitigate those situations. But they're definitely showing that their defense is such a solid foundation to allow that offense to play so loose, right? And just free flowing. And that's a really, really cool thing to see, especially with younger players being able to step in there as well and make some contributions.
Yeah, that offense looking confident early and often in this one. St. Joe's, obviously with so much youth, have a lot to go in the future here. Once again, our final score, 14-6. Thanks for watching the CAA Game of the Week on Lax Sports Network. For Malcolm Chase and our entire crew, I am Tom Eschen. We now send you back to the LSN Broadcast Center for the Lacrosse Now postgame show.